Hi guys, Paul here. ManiacsMeat podcast with
Tony.
Don't mess with Tony.
Fucking Tony.
Little life lesson. Never play gods with the name of Paulie. All right. Paulie and Tony. All right. You're gonna fucking lose. If you don't lose, you're gonna get legs broken. All right. Here we go. Time to do a Slasher Sunday.
I look forward to these Slasher Sundays, Paulie.
You do?
I do.
You do? Why do you do?
Because you expose me to all kinds of fun little giallos and slashers and whatnots and hoo-nannies.
Hoo-nannies. A hoot-nanny. Well, this is a little bit past prime for its 35th anniversary, but this is Nightmare, 1981. Just as old as I am. 1981. This is Nightmare, the uncut version, and I can see a couple parts in it that probably would have been normally cut.
Yeah.
So there you go. But this is 1981, and this is definitely a mental trip in a box right here. So this is actually a pick by our Twitter polls. We put this up. It went neck and neck, if you get what I'm saying. With Blood Rage. However, we had to do, it was a tie, so we had to re-put it back up, and Nightmare won. So here we're doing it. Nightmare. The polls have spoken. We have answered. So here we go.
No Russian interference here.
No Russian interference on all polls there, baby. Just the polls. They can pick the strawberry. Polls are called strawberry pickers in Sweden. That's their racial name.
The more you know.
The more you know. Anyway, so Nightmare 1981. What do you think about this film?
I like it. No, really, it's a good film. It's got a lot of little twists and quirks and turns. I love. Well, you know what? I want to start off by saying I like the guy. What's his name? George. Is that the main killer? Yeah. He really has. Reminds me of Mark Wahlberg or Donnie Wahlberg from The Sixth Sense. Remember that movie when he's all fucking weird and like crying and screaming all the time?
Right.
Yeah, kind of has that vibe.
George Tatum.
Yeah, George Tatum. Channing Tatum's uncle. No.
Nightmare, the low-budget 1981 horror film that has fans have requested and clamored for a DVD for years has arrived. Mentally unbalanced patient George Tatum, Brad Stafford, is released from a New York mental hospital, slums it up on sleazy 42nd Street, and then travels to Florida to terrorize an unsuspecting family. Brutal, uncompromising, and graphic. This is one nightmare that you'll never forget. Originally released unrated to theaters during the height of the slasher craze in the early 1980s, this slasher splatter classic is garnered a huge cult horror fan base in since years. Romano Salvinia's Nightmare delivers all the gore and sleaze thrills to satisfy even the most jaded horror aficionado. Nightmare is presented in fully uncut and widescreen anamorphic presentation. The wait is finally over, but the nightmare has just begun. Do you think that wraps that up?
It's a nice little nutshell. I'll say this much about it. Am I allowed to speak freely?
Yes.
This movie is good.
I found it trying to watch sometimes.
I feel it has a lot of homage to Pieces. If not, is Pieces out before this movie?
1980 or 82 is Pieces.
Wherever, there was homage to someone somewhere around here.
Yeah.
With the deathly murders with children and killer kids.
The mom. Yeah, except for a lot of giallos have the same kind of opening. Like the kid is a killer of one of the family members, other sex partners, or the dad or the mom. So it does have this train that does roll down the tracks, just like many Pieces would be, or not Tenebrae, but like Deep Red would be, or things like that of those natures for sure. Definitely has. I mean, I guess it wasn't a kid in Deep Red, but I'm just saying. But yeah, definitely has a lot of little homages to those things. You know what I mean? Killing the parent. kind
Come
of
on.
deal, or killing the person that's fucking the parents. But yes, I find this film is a very interestingly played out. It's a little bit low budget cavalcade of insanity. It's a little bit hard to watch if you're for the mainstream.
I really like that word, cavalcade.
A cavalcade.
I love that word.
Cavalcade. It was a cavalcade of
It
mental.
was.
It's a cavalcade of mental emotions. It was. It's not for your. It's for the aficionados, I guess you'd say. It's not for the mainstreamers. They would have a harder time watching this film than we would, I think.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know what we didn't talk about in the last film? Scores.
The scores.
Scores. I hated Extra 2 scores.
Extra 2 scores were horrible. Extra 3 was even worse.
I bet.
Yeah.
The first one was good. I liked the first one.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, but we would say, I would say that I want to get off Extra. I want to say that Nightmare, it has its moments, but at the same time, you can see this like it's so many fun little flaws and weird things about this film. Like, I like that. Oh, we completely cured this guy. Set him out, and the first thing he does is go to a fucking sleaze fest, see a girl rubbing her open area that you can clearly see, which I loved. I mean, loving that. And then he has like this panic seizure and foams at the mouth. You know, it's like, yeah, you cured him. He must be cured.
Why don't we have those around here? Where you can just go and put like $1 in and watch like a 10-minute show. Some girl just like grinding against something or something.
The problem is you do, but it's more than $1.
Yeah, but they're not booths like that, are they?
Not booths.
That's
no.
what I'm saying. I want some privacy so I can like rub one out or something.
Yeah, well, exactly. Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, because they don't care what you do.
I want her to see me. I don't want anyone else to see me.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. 'Cause I've been to the carousel back when it was open and stuff like that. You know what I mean? A couple times. Yeah, and then got some private areas where there was a lot of anal licking. Yeah.
Man, that's rough.
I took it. Hey, it was right before I got married, so.
How about it, man?
Yeah, how about it? Give that wife the STD.
Fucking carousel, dude.
Oh yeah, the carousel. It was so bad. Even the lady on the outside needed a paint job. If you know what I mean. Like that was the thing. It was good times.
I remember going up there like as a kid, like like the birthday candles and shit, and the girl like laying out, like you know.
What about Eager Beavers?
Oh,
we went
Beavers.
to Carousel. We went to Eager Beavers that night.
Eager Beavers.
Yeah.
I heard some fucking shit about that. I never been to Eager Beavers, but
the one girl, she's like, "Come home with me." I said, "I can't. I'm getting married." That was funny.
You'll end up in the trunk.
Mm-hmm. I was so drunk I couldn't even see, let alone drive. Mm-hmm.
That's usually how I leave here.
Yeah.
That's not true. I don't drink and drive, Mom. No, not with your car. No, my car I do. Anyway,
speaking about labias, yeah. So and then he has this massive, because apparently I like the fact that like it shows like schizophrenia, like dream fixations, amnesia, the whole deal.
Dream theater,
like Voivod and all this shit. Yeah, it definitely comes up with that. You don't just cure that with a few pills.
I definitely got a Clockwork Orange vibe from that scene.
Yeah.
Remember they did that Clockwork Orange where they cured Alex.
Yeah, and they cured Alex.
Then every time he started acting like he got like sick to his stomach and.
Yep.
So who's confident? Who there, boy?
Yeah.
But whatever. It's a good movie. I like it. What about your favorite kill, man?
My favorite kill. I just still like the slow stabbing. When he cuts her throat and you just see that giant open hole in her neck, like obviously but it's so. I like the fact that this has this like H.G. Lewis kind of like red ass blood, just kind of gore.
Oh my god, we haven't even done any of his movies yet.
I have them to do. Wizard of Gore, Goro Girls, I have them. So, yeah. Switchblade Symphony.
God, you should. Why aren't we covering more stuff?
I'm trying to. It's really hard to work with this audience.
They are hard. You guys are assholes.
You guys are rough, and my coworker sucks.
My cohorts are so dumb.
Cohorts. That's why I want to do Satan's Blood and Black Candle. We need to get more Satan and tits in this fucking thing too.
That would be a perfect episode to do like out in the woods with bonfires and
Torches.
hoods and like skulls and rituals.
White hoods?
Altar girls and what?
White hoods?
No, I would do black. I mean, you
black
can do
hoods.
white hoods if you want, but there's probably has to be some pissed people.
Well, actually, probably around here, you probably get some people that join in. Like, get the fuck out of here. This ain't
We have like a line like, oh shit, it's a party.
Oh, hey, a picnic.
Good old lynching, huh?
This ain't no clan meeting. Get out of here, son. Terry, I see you.
Terry is always watching.
Terry is always watching. He's worse than Jesus. But yeah, it's definitely an interesting film. I've always liked it. Like at the beginning, like I mean, it went on for like a lot of his anguish, mental screaming does go on for quite a long time. But then you see the blood on his leg, and he pulls up, and the girl's head's there, and she's all mutilated around his legs, and then she opens her eyes.
Yeah.
It's visceral. It's definitely raw. It's visceral. It's not like your typical slasher in that.
Well, the guy did jail time for the movie.
Did he?
Yeah, you didn't read about that?
No.
Oh yeah. This is in the Video Nasties in the UK. He refused to cut any scenes from his movie because he wanted it raw. He wanted it natural. This is what this is, And because of it, in the Video Nasties, he did a few months in prison because he refused to cut it.
Oh, good for him, man.
He took one for the team,
Good
man.
for him. I like that. I did not know that.
Oh, shit, yeah.
See, I'm not a big, like, even with my beer reviews, I try not to research things.
Yeah, you want.
I try to go in raw. You know what I mean? Without.
I like to leave some little tidbits with the viewer.
But the thing is, he doesn't have his phone full of notes but I'm glad he has his note in his brain. He's the note guy. I'm the visceral guy. We come together, and we expand on each other.
More than one way.
Yes, he puts it in mind. We basically 69, but just with not with cum, just with urine.
If my parents don't question my sexuality anytime now, I'd be surprised.
There you go. Well, how can you not? I'm a very attractive man.
You are a handsome little devil.
And you are a cute little fucking fuck. There you go, with a knife.
Oh, it's crazy how much my world would change if I just went like this quick.
I wish you would. Yeah, I really wish you would.
So much shit would happen and transpire after that.
Our world would go really weird if I just went like this. Oh, and I really wish you would. But I got ya.
You got it.
You got it. This is a fun little film. Don't get us wrong. We're not trying to spit on the film. We're just having a good time. If you think you were... I like the fact that if you think you were terrified by Dawn of the Dead and Friday the 13th, you must see Nightmare. Like, they just reference right on the cover.
It just has nothing to do with the movie.
Nothing like
They're two different genres.
Yeah, I was like, can you like... they didn't try to reference like slashers.
Yeah.
They just tried to reference like the two main big films.
Dawn of the Dead.
If you think you were terrified by Dawn of the Dead and Friday the 13th, you must see Nightmare. You know what I mean?
Oh.
The Dream You Can't Escape Alive, the 35th anniversary of this film. Actually, the artwork they did is creepier than the guy himself. I mean, that is a creepy ass artwork that they did on there. What did you say?
George reminds me of a guy I went to school with named Alan. Alan, if you're watching, you're a creeper.
Alan P. Hunter.
I don't know Alan's last name, but Alan used to sit in the bathroom in the boys' locker room, or bathroom, in the locker room, with a little notepad and a little pencil. And he'd write down everything he heard and take it to the principals. So, Alan got beat up a lot.
I was going to say, he's one of those guys who needs an ass kicking.
He had a lot of black guys in high school.
Black guys?
He had black guys, and he was gay, but he also had black eyes.
So he rode the African train.
He rode the long black train.
On my train.
I dedicate this episode to Alan.
Alan, and your blown out, black-filled asshole.
Sphinxster.
He's the Sphinx. That's in Africa. His Sphinxter's in Africa. Mount me like a tiger.
Oh yeah, brother.
Lion.
Whatever. Go ahead, give him the Macho Man.
I don't know if I can.
All right, no Macho Man.
I don't know.
Not today. You're not drunk enough.
Not drunk enough right now. The kids are here. I have to yell.
God, I got that. This thing's awesome.
Knives are flying around here. I got to restart. Oh, we're listening. If you weren't terrified by that, we are listening to the soundtrack for Dawn of the Dead right now.
That was so good.
We are listening to Dawn of the Dead soundtrack right now. Yeah, so that kind of works out pretty well. I didn't even realize it said Dawn of the Dead until we actually started the podcast. So I was like, oh, okay, well, fuck it then. They do have, on Waxwork Records, they do have some of the Friday the 13th, though. Here's the bitches. Friday the 13th Part 5, the one that sucks with the guy that's not Jason.
Yep.
They don't have Pseudo Echo's Eyes on the soundtrack. There's a man with no life in his eyes. I looked at that on Waxwork Records, and I did not see that. If that's not on that fucking vinyl, I don't want to buy it. That's the best fucking song on that from Part 5. Because, like, and then the goth girl's dancing like this, and I'm like, oh, you're so fucking hot.
All right. You saw it there.
Yeah. Yeah. I like Pseudo Echo's Man with No Eyes, Life in His Eyes.
You spin me right round, baby, right round, like a record, baby. Right. That has nothing to do with that.
No, Tears for Fears. But anyway, special features, audio commentary, makeup, artist Cleve Hall and star Brand Stanford. Okay. Actually, I didn't actually listen to this, but apparently the commentary does actually have good old George Tatum talking about his performance. What's your overall impression about this as a slasher? The thing that I tried to point out a few times here, it's not your typical proto slasher idea concept. Okay, this is probably the furthest thing from a proto. I think you'd agree, from a proto slasher. This is not My Bloody Valentine. This is not The Burning. This is not The Prowler. Okay, so I want you to give your impressions on this and tell me what you would think according to, like, comparing this to regular slashers that the mainstream does.
This movie is like, I compare this movie to something you would find in a closet, deep down buried in someone's closet. Clothes are on top of it, and you found it. And you say, "What is this?" And you watch, and you go, "Wow, that's different. It's good. It's not good.
Yeah.
But it's watchable, fun good." I mean, you can't compare this to The Burning or
it's
Sleepaway Camp.
It's in this weird mental torture zone.
Yeah.
Where it's almost a different genre. It's weird. Because the thing is, the proto slashers that we know today, that people embrace today, I guess, the Burnings, the Prowlers, the My Bloody Valentines and stuff, they're so set on a schedule. You can copy and paste exactly what's going to happen during those moments, during the film, during this is what happens. This doesn't follow any of those.
Nope. This is its own drum beat.
It does. This is like
there's winks and nods though to other films. I can't tell if they come first or last in the series.
Right.
I don't know, because like I said, with Pieces you have the murdering kid and just lots of lust.
There is, I'm trying to think, there's a couple other films, like weird twisted if I can find them, if I can find out what films they are, I will reference them later.
Comment in the section below.
We can actually do these later, but like The Naked Massacre would be one of those ones where it's a slasher film, but it's not your prototypical slasher. There are a couple of, like, Don't Go Into the Basement is technically a slasher, but it's not your prototypical slasher.
House at the Edge of the Park.
That's a really good revenge film. But then you have another one or two that they just do not fit typical formats. They're in this weird one like this, where the guy just goes completely fucking apeshit.
Would that count as subgenre in the sense that it's more of a thriller, maybe?
Or as a mental torture film or something like that? I don't know. This is a slasher, though. I mean, it is one guy killing lots of people. But it's definitely it's just something that kind of stands alone, or at least in a small group by himself compared to other proto slashers.
Stand alone.
What would you give this for? Like, what would you tell the mainstreamers after you've seen this?
Can I tell the mainstreamers, in my personal opinion? Like, what would can I give them their rating and then my rating?
Yes, absolutely.
I would give this a 5. I'll give this a 5 on a normal issue because it is entertaining. The special effects I feel are pretty well done. It's got some good kills. I'll give it a 6. And I'm giving you a 6 because the dude did jail time for a movie. That's passion. He refused to cut anything out of it because he wanted it in its raw, natural form. It sat on the video nasties for God knows how long, probably still is.
Yeah.
And it's been banned in the UK. I mean, if you're that dedicated to your movie where you go, I don't care, send me to jail for a couple months, I'm not cutting anything out of my movie. That's dedication.
Right.
And I'll give you an extra star for that.
Yep. I'm going to give this one an 8 out of 10. I really like this film. I think it doesn't fit your typical viewing film, but it's one of those things where a guy like me who's seen it all and done it all really needs something to kind of mix up the stir pot. This mixes up the stir pot really nicely, and it's something I can go back to. Like I said, it's not the greatest film in the world, and it has rough edges, but I gave it an extra point because the motherfucker went to jail.
Dude, it's better than the Clown Murders.
It is so much better than the Clown Murders. However, for the mainstreamers out there who actually go to slashers and go, oh, a slasher, let me check this out. I'm gonna give this one a 5 for you guys, though, because it's gonna be a hit or miss. You're gonna either love it or hate it. It's gonna be very polarizing. But for me, I'm gonna give this an 8 out of 10. It's very gory. I love the labia, her rubbing her clit randomly.
Yeah,
like you can just see that shit flat out, and like her riding her dad, before he cuts her fucking head off and stuff like that.
Can I change mine? Yeah, I changed it to 7. For me, I changed mine to 7. I'll change mine because
you bumped it up a point.
Yeah, because you know why? Because I forgot the ending was the best.
Yeah.
When they finally, it's just straight ending. Because they keep doing the flashbacks of the kid walking up the stairs, and you see the woman, and you see the bloody heads and stuff, and then at the end it just
shot your
all
dad
there
a bunch of times.
Dude, yeah, and it just like he's walking. I love that whole scene where she's just riding that dude and stuff, and then you just see her go. Her head just fly off and her body go down, and he's just standing there all bloody with that axe. And the dad's like, no, and he's just like,
and it gets him too.
Yeah, and it doesn't even cut away.
No, it goes right in.
It's literally acts like, and his blood just goes. It just like that scene was awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, I bumped my rating up to a 7 out of 6. And the dude did jail time for that.
Yep, so we got a 7.5 overall for rating right now, and we're going to give it a 5.5 overall for your mainstreamers. So definitely check that out, give it to an accountant, and, just let us know your thoughts and opinions if you've seen this film. This was a Twitter recommendation from our polls of people watching this film, so hope you enjoyed it, and if we do post it on Twitter, hope you check it out and let us know your thoughts and opinions. And we're going to do a poll. We might not do a poll for all the regular episodes, but I feel we should do a poll for the slashers. I really enjoyed that.
I like it.
I really do. I really do it. I mean, if we have an idea of an actual regular episode, we're probably just going to do the regular episode. But doing the poll for the slashers was actually pretty fun. We might actually do a little bit of a twist turn where the one that doesn't get any votes, we're going to do instead.
Yeah.
Shit like that.
You all pick that one, we're picking the one with less votes.
Fuck you. You know what I mean? We'll save that one for later.
Because that's how we do. We go for the lesser known or less popular.
Exactly. But at the same time, this was a really fun one to do. And we got 20-some minutes out of it, too. So that was really good.
Yeah, that's a lot, man. It's really...
That is a lot.
It's a lot for a pretty basic average slasher. Yeah, man, I like it. It's definitely for my first time watching it. Don't confuse this movie for the Hammer film.
Yeah, Nightmare Creatures from '64 or Frightmare. Frightmare's a whole nother different one. I like Frightmare too, but it's a whole different thing. Dr. Hackenstein, that's a different thing. Lots of different nightmares. Nightmare Creatures, the game, which is fun.
Man, I got that at home, dude.
I love that film.
Dude, Nightmare Creatures was revolutionary.
Nightmare Creatures was a really cool game because it actually put you in that really horror aspect.
It was all Victorian style horror.
With werewolves and shit.
Werewolves,
but
zombies,
Cthulhu shit, too.
And I'm telling you right now, that game, I got that for my birthday when I got my PlayStation, and I said, this looks stupid, until you put it in and then your mind is warped. But my favorite was when you found the cheat code so you could play as the monsters.
Yeah.
You could run around the levels as a werewolf just slashing people.
I never did that. I didn't know the cheat code.
Oh, dude, you come as the Banshee. The Banshee, she was nude.
Oh.
She had big gray boobies with black nipples, and she'd fly around, and you could swoop, and she had like a tail with it, like a.
Nobody loves gray tits and milk dud nipples more than I do.
God, dude. That game, once you put the cheat code in, you can be like the big Cthulhu, like monsters with like the whipped hands, like
Yeah, the tentacle
like whip people in half and stuff.
Jesus.
Oh my god, dude,
I would play as a werewolf every time.
So much fun.
You know,
it is so. Much fun.
But the thing is, like, you were like, this is gonna suck. We were waiting for that game to come out. We were excited.
Oh, I bet, dude. Well, I mean, I was. How old was I?
A little bit younger than me.
I was probably about 12 or 13, maybe.
Yeah.
No, I was younger than that. 10 or 11.
I was like 13 when it came out, so you were gonna be like 10.
Yeah, I was probably about 10 when that game came out, and like I said, I just got it in a birthday mix. When I got my PlayStation, and at first, kind of like this looks, because I didn't, when I was a kid, I was one of those gamers where I'm like, Sonic, Mario, you're all typical.
Yeah. The stuff I didn't like.
Yeah, so I was all about like that's what I wanted. This new Star Wars games and stuff, and then I one day just did it on a rainy day, and I was just hooked. And once you beat it, you get all the codes and the cheat codes, and it's dark, and it's jump scares when you're playing. When you're walking around the dock, man, you're like, that big tentacle whips out and like grabs you, and you're like, you're freaking out, like smashes stuff, and it's foggy, and all the Frankenstein.
Well, that's the problem is I never owned the gaming system. I always played it at my friend Billy's house, so I never actually got to actually a chance to sit down and actually play the game for the fruition of it.
Yeah, dude. One of these days, I'm totally bringing it over, and we're gonna get nays. We're gonna yuck it up so bad.
That's why I got Twitch. Twitch is like online gaming. You can actually game stream and stuff like that. So
Twitch. So we'll live stream.
Twitch of the Death Nerve, aka Bay of Blood, which is the first technical proto slasher. Slash Yallo.
What were we talking about?
Mario Bava. Nightmare Creatures.
So, Mr. Thomas Savini?
Tom Salvini?
Saliva?
Tom Salami?
Tommy Salami. He, the director says he was involved in this movie.
Really?
And he was not at all.
No, he's not. No, he was just trying to get name credit.
Well, what he was doing is he was a consultant. They would call him, or he'd show up on set and just be like, hey, well, you should do it this way, make it look more organic. And he never touched the special effects the whole movie. He just gave his opinion on things.
Well, I like how Tom Savini's directed in Nightmare too. Tom Savini showed up for the headshot of Hank, and that is it.
So he got credit on that movie.
Yeah.
And he gets credit on this movie. He didn't do anything.
Yeah, he was there for the headshot on Hank and then left, and then was not there.
Well, at least he admits he had nothing to do with this movie. He's like, I had nothing to do with that movie. He's like, I just showed up to give my viewpoints, and that was it.
Well, the other thing is some of the kills on this movie, some of those, or like throat cuts and stuff like that, they look very H.G. Lewis. So I wouldn't, if I was Tom, I wouldn't take credit for any of that. Like, if it was amazing, you'd be like, yeah, I totally into that. You know what I mean? Like that kind of thing. But like some of this shit was H.G. Lewis style, because I like old sloppy gore. So yeah, I wouldn't take credit for it either. Yeah, exactly. So anyway, this is our thoughts and opinions on Nightmare from 1981. This is the uncut version that we watched and having a good time. And it was on YouTube, so definitely do check it out if you're on the YouTube format, or if you want to go buy the DVD. It was released by Code Red, so definitely check it out. I got this off eBay. Definitely, it wasn't that much money. Go check it out. See what you can find it for. The 34th anniversary. I know is completely uncut. I'm assuming they're all uncut, but this one definitely is. Anyway, this has been Paul.
Josh.
Maniacs Meat Podcast. Maniacs Meat Slasher Sunday. Episode, I think, 27. We'll get these episodes right one of these fucking days. Ever since we flipped the script, we've been kind of out of kilter.
I feel like it's been 27 the last 27 times.
That's the same thing you said with the last 26. Or 25 the last 26 fucking times. I don't fucking know. I don't fucking know. I'm done. I'm done. You're done. I'm done. Bye-bye.
Goodbye, friend.
Watch that finger.
Watch the finger. Don't be scared.
In the butt. Who doesn't care?
Oh.